Hello, rail fans. It was a foggy, rainy morning in North Georgia, and we're at Locust Grove, north of the downtown area. We found this to be a little less congested. We got a little better shot at the train. This would be a good morning time side. The other side would be good if it was evening. And, we happened to see this freight come by, and we didn't know at this time that we would be chasing this train all the way to Valdosta, Georgia, back to the house. In this video, you'll also see my wife got a camera for Christmas, and she has some clips embedded in this video this time, so I was tickled that she was really active in trying to get some good shots, and she's been keeping up with all the numbers and things like that. And there she is out there in the grass getting the close-ups. It had rained during the night, and it was still kind of misty, rainy, enough that I was actually under an umbrella. She was out there with her smaller camera, and she's she was busy getting her videos. There was some other trains we videoed during this trip that's not in this video, but this is when we realized that it was the same train that we happened to see in Locust Grove, and this is when we decided we'll chase this rascal back. We're not very far from Brosnan Yard. Matter of fact, it's almost, the way I'm bent over, it's almost in that same direction, not very far. But we were at a place up on this rise, and that hole there that's covered by a grate, there's a it's concrete under there, but it's about 15 to 20 feet deep, and it was unusual. We never could figure out exactly what that was for. The same morning earlier, we were on the other side of this track. There's another track by this one, and then there's two more tracks that go off down into the business area. We were on one of the tracks, and actually filmed a different train coming by going northbound. That's why we decided to come up on this area, and you can actually drive up onto this piece of property, and it's good and flat and safe. You're out of the way, and so we that's when we caught this one coming by. While we were in Macon, we found some pretty neat places. There's 2 or 3 tunnels that we actually went through that are concrete tunnels that go underneath things, and it was pretty wild. We'll be back to do some more. way down from Macon to Cordele, and actually shot a CSX that came by, and then talked to a guy that was former Air Force, and he was taking pictures of train cars actually, and he publishes those, and she didn't get his address of where he publishes those things, but he had a professional camera, and he was doing some very tedious picture taking. We told him we were going to head home, but when we got in the truck and just made a couple of blocks, we heard the train horn, and I told my wife, I said, that's always the way. So we pulled in here at 8th Street to get the shots. We were headed south on 41, and we were in the town of Araby, and happened to see the train headed southbound, and this is the kind of footage we like to do, and I'm sure the GSP don't like it, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We enjoy getting these train shots when we're rolling, because that's why we call them a chase. That's what we're doing, we're chasing him. And this is my co-pilot. She had her camera out, and so I put a few of these in there. She likes to do this as good as I do. What can I say? She's a good woman. And just so you know, this is not unfamiliar territory. We've driven Highway 41 enough times. I think my truck could probably have autopilot and just make it to the house by itself. This is a pretty neat shot in here. This is a pecan grove, and sometimes it's on both sides of the road, and it's hard to see really how neat looking it is through the lens of a camera unless you're really there. Drop the engines anyway. There's the engines, updating. There he is, right there. That's the Locust Grove Express. Sounded like big hornets that got in the truck, but that was me driving on the bumps. Got into Ashburn and got the special toot. Now we're on the particular side of the road that's the elevation is pretty high. They actually excavated out so that the train didn't have to go over a higher hill, and so this is really a neat vantage point. You get to see the train up close, but also you're looking more at the center line of the train. as we were making our way closer down towards Tifton, Chula is the next town before you get to Tifton, and there was a good place here next to a peanut processing place. If you check it out, when those engines come across that crossing at first, you see them bucking. That's because the grade right there on that crossing is absolutely messed up. You can actually see some of these cars do a little dip, but when those engines come by, you really do see it. It had started out to be a rainy day in North Georgia, and it continued to be cloudy, and there was times where it even threatened like it was going to rain down here in the south. But overall, it was this is my kind of day. I know it's a little less bright in the videos, but I'm just a cloudy type kind of guy when it comes to driving. I hate driving on those days when there's not a cloudless sky, but that's just me. We were both laughing at something I said, and we were talking about a guy that I used to know, and he had big old moles, and they were big old oblong black moles on him. And I told her, I said it looked like somebody had shot him with a slingshot with a raisin, and the raisin stuck to him. And that struck her funny, and she laughed for about 5 miles because I said that. But later she asked me, how did I know? I said, well, we was fishing one time, and he changed his, or took his shirt off, and that's how I could tell he had them big old raisin moles on him. And the guy I was talking about, he's passed away and gone. He was a good fella, and if he was still around, I'd dedicate this to him. But he was about 400 pounds, and he was a good guy. He played Santa Claus every year for the kids around Valdosta, and well loved, and we do miss him. But he did have those raisin moles. Well, it's after 5 o'clock, and we're in Valdosta, Georgia, sitting at Bay Tree Road, waiting on this train to make its way, and we had some stuff to pick up at Publix before we could get home. There's the co-pilot in the mirror, videoing out the window. In the video, you see that smokestack that's standing there. That's the last remnant of Strickland Cotton Mill. It was a large cotton mill that employed lots of folks. Most of them lived across the other side of the track in what they call Raymondton, Georgia. It's a little city within Valdosta, and all the mill houses have been converted now into apartments. Most of it is college kids that's going to VSU, and that's the only remnant left of that great cotton mill. Well, it was good to be home after a day. We actually left the day before and went up to the McDonough Locust Grove area, and it was good to be back to the house. But as this train, when it got past, we had some things to pick up, and then we were heading home. takes us a little while to get some of these things edited, but now that the Christmas and New Year's holidays are over, we look to do a little bit more of this and get them online a little quicker. And as always, we thank you for watching to the end, and would help if you like, subscribe, and share the videos. They're made for all ages. Until then, see ya.